Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Physical Deals and Imports, where each week we look at some of the best deals on Nintendo Switch games if you're trying to build a physical collection. Now just quickly, as I mention every week, these are US based deals, so unfortunately if you're watching from elsewhere in the world, I can't guarantee the availability of these games at these prices. However, when we get to the import section, well that we're using Play Asia, so it'll be available worldwide. Now also, as you're watching, if you want to pick up any of these games, I'll be leaving links down below. Some of them will be affiliate links, so if you use them, it would be greatly appreciated. But don't feel like it's necessary at all, because the most important thing to me is that you are getting the best deals available. Now with all that stuff out of the way, just remember that if you do like the content, consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. Now the first deal we're going to be looking at for today is on Xenoblade Chronicles. Now it's one of those things with Amazon where you can only see the price when the game's in your cart, but I'm going to fix that. It's on the screen right now. Basically, you're getting the game right now for $39.99. Now simply put, Xenoblade Chronicles is probably one of the best RPGs available on the Nintendo Switch. So if you're a fan of RPGs, you've been waiting to pick this one up, any deal you can get on it is probably a really good deal. Not only that, but yes, it was slightly cheaper during Black Friday at certain retailers, but right now we're out of Black Friday season, meaning that if you were waiting to pick this game up and you don't want to have to wait almost another full year, I'm not sure how much lower it's going to get before next Black Friday. Also, if the same thing happens as what happened with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, if you want to pick up a copy right now of that game, you actually have to pay over retail. I would not wait to get this game as soon as possible. Now, our second great physical deal for today is another stellar game, which is Monster Hunter Rise, that is now $33.88. Now, this deal is not only available at GameStop as is on the screen, it's also available at Walmart and Target currently. Now, once again, we're probably looking at one of the top releases of 2021, with most people definitely having it at least in their top 5. And not only that, even if you are new to the series, Monster Hunter Rise is probably one of the best jumping on points to the whole series. It now has over 8 million copies sold, and Capcom is backing this game with regular DLC updates to the game that really packs in extra content constantly. And as the previous game, outside of Black Friday season, any deal you can get on it is probably a good move to be picking it up. Now, our next great deal for today is going to be Journey to the Savage Planet, that is now available at $19.99. Now, on the screen, you're seeing that it's available at GameStop. However, Walmart is also matching the deal currently. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Journey to the Savage Planet, it is basically a 3D exploration game meets Metroidvania type elements with some slight platforming thrown in from time to time. Now, this is one of those ports to the Switch that visually it did take a hit on the Switch, and occasionally there are some slight frame drops. However, as with most games, having it in a portable format to me, especially with an exploration type game, was really worth the trade-off. And with the type of gameplay here, these slight issues didn't really affect my overall experience and my overall appreciation of the game. And especially if you don't have another way to experience it, it is really worth a pickup in my opinion at $19.99. Now, our next deal is one that we do see slightly on a regular basis, but it is nonetheless an amazing pickup, and that is The Outer Worlds, that is right now available on Amazon at $19.99. Now, if you're totally unfamiliar with The Outer Worlds, it is once again a stellar RPG, however this time a more Western-styled RPG. Basically, if you've ever played the Fallout series, it could be briefly described almost as Fallout in space. So yes, you'll be exploring through space, visiting different planets, but there is a very strong storyline here that drives you forward. And once again, this is a game that graphic fidelity-wise did take a hit on the Switch. However, I'll let you know it's been patched up, it is a ton better than when it released, and right now I would say the experience is actually very good. And once again, for a huge game that you have to sink tons of hours into, having it in a portable format to be able to play on the go is once again an amazing trade-off I am prepared to do each and every time. And now, wrapping up today's deals, before we jump into the imports, I wanted to put attention to a deal that, yes, once again, we see often, but it is nonetheless a stellar pickup, and that is the Bioshock Collection that currently at Best Buy is available once again for $19.99. Now, in this collection, you're getting all 3 Bioshock entries, which are basically FPS games meets almost slight survival horror style gameplay. But I think what hits everyone first when you jump into this game is the amazing world created in this series. And this time around, I would tell you that the ports of the Switch are actually very, very honest to the original entries. There are maybe some slight hits graphically here and there, but for the most part, you're getting an experience that is very close to the original. The only downside here, however, is that you actually need quite a bit of space available on your microSD because there is a lot to download. However, once again, if you're a physical collector, having the cartridge, the case on your shelf, and also if you have multiple Switches, being able to play it offline on any one of your units, to me, once again, is definitely worth picking up a physical version. And now we jump over to our imports. And even though I didn't mention it earlier, all the games here will have English included. And today, we're actually going to look at a couple of pre-orders. One is actually coming up right this week. The other one is a little bit ways out, but nonetheless, these are 2 games that I am super excited about getting physical versions of. And the first one here is Pocky and Rocky Reshrined, that currently you can pre-order for April 21st at $32.99. Now, the Pocky and Rocky series is best known from the Super Nintendo, and I've been waiting years to get a revival of the series on modern consoles, but they are basically top-down action games that play out almost like a shmup. And from everything I've seen about this game, it looks like they're staying very honest to the original formula, offering once again 2-player local co-op, however this time up to 5 different playable characters. Now this one this week is once again taking a little bit of a risk since I haven't played the game yet. However, nonetheless, if you are a fan of the retro series, I do think this is definitely one you're going to want to be picking up and taking a chance on. Now our next one will be the Company Man. That is a pre-order as well, however for very soon, the physical version is releasing on January 26th. Now this one, however, I have played. I actually just streamed an hour of it last night. It is a 2D action platformer that has a very humoristic setting. You're basically your standard corporate 9-to-5 worker that has to fight his way through your corporate building using your keyboard almost as a makeshift buster sword. Now from everything I played, the gameplay is extremely solid. The only thing I would warn about is it looks like the runtime on the game is fairly short. Most experienced platform players will probably be able to knock this one out in about 3 to 4 hours. However, I personally was impressed enough with the game. I'll be finishing it over the next few days, and I've already pre-ordered my physical version from PlayAsia. So that was pretty much it for this week's list of physical deals and imports. Now let me know in the comments down below what games are you going to be picking up for this week and what releases are you looking forward to. And as usual, don't forget that if you did like the video, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel if you aren't already, and hitting that notification bell so you know when all my future content comes out. And as usual, I hope I'll see you in my next video.